letting them go?
It's a good question, Ellie. I mean, let's just start with the law, right? In India, we do have a remission policy in place on the basis of which the state can decide to set convicts free. However, in this particular case, it's just been going back and forth so many times that there are certain questions that are being asked. The first and most important one really is that why did the state base its entire decision on a policy that is outdated, which actually dates back to 1992. The new policy came into place, I think, in 2014. But this one was specifically based on the earlier one, because as per the new policy, which is a stricter policy, convicts accused of, who've been convicted of gang rape are actually not allowed to apply for remission. So that is the big question that is being asked. And the government's reasoning is that at the time of the conviction, the 1992 policy was in place. However, it's 2022. So, I mean, that is one large question that is being asked. And there are actually two ways to look at this, Ellie. I mean, the first is, was it a right decision? Was the remission justified? And there are two sides to that. I mean, there is a side that feels they've served 15 years, and there is a side that says the crime was heinous and they were imprisoned for life, and the circumstances don't justify their release. So that is one part. Was the remission justified? And the second, equally important question really is, was the remission under, as per law? Was it following the rules? So in India, I think right now we're kind of grappling to figure answers to both these questions. We are asking the right questions, and nobody seems to be very clear right now. But the answer is kind of going back and forth. The Supreme Court turned around and recently made a statement saying we didn't grant permission. We only asked the Gujarat government to consider it. So hopefully, I mean, we are a democracy, and people are asking the right question. Hopefully, we will get the right answers to it.
And the underlying motif here seems to be similar to so many debates around the world, whether the judiciary can allow itself to be disconnected from the social climate when making such decisions. And Ekta, the rights of a long-hounded Prime Minister Modi, who was Gujarat's top elected official at the time of this horrific event. Are we seeing any political fallout now, or any criticism resurfacing towards him as the former leader there and the leader of the nation now?
This case has been political from the very start. From the very beginning, this has been a political case, which is why even today you're seeing demonstrations, you're seeing everyone's kind of jumping into the fray, whether it's the opposition, whether it's activists, whether it's the journalists. Every single person is jumping in to be heard, religious leaders, and everyone seems to be kind of milking it for what it's worth. If you're asking me if Mr. Modi's popularity is being dented because of this, I mean, yes, of course, there is criticism. There are two sides, but if you're asking me, is it significantly impacting his popularity? The answer, I think, is no. However, the elections are around the corner. You never know.
Yes, you never know, that's for sure. And Ekta, very briefly, unfortunately, before we need to let you go, it's a recurring phenomenon, sexual abuse and sexual crimes in India. Why is that?
Not just India. I mean, you as a woman would know this is true all over the world. However, I have to tell you, this is the most important question that you've asked, because especially in the Bilkis Bano case, the case is being hijacked. The attention is being taken away from the fact that what was done was horrible, and she was a woman who suffered. Unfortunately, the narrative here is, the fact she is Hindu or Muslim is incidental. How does it even matter? The fact that a woman should not be able to no woman should go through what she did. And unfortunately, nobody's talking about her gender is secondary. Religion and politics seems to be primary. Why is that recurring in India? I mean, that's a long, complicated answer that has, cultural, patriarchal rituals and.
No, but you're definitely putting the emphasis, the emphasis on the fact that her being a woman attacked is sidelined to the religious and political motif. Ekta Kumal, Indian columnist, as always, even though it is a tough topic, it's a delight speaking to you. Thank you so very much.